There's a time for projects and there's a time for tasks, just like there's a time for deep work where you have sort of drop-in studio focus on the craft without a particular outcome, and there's a time for the shallow work of ticking things off, like sending emails or reaching out to people or those kinds of things, maintaining connections, which are usually more administrative probably, unless they are deep and networky. But I just wanted to speak a little bit about the difference between projects and tasks, because it's really helped me to discern and decide, okay, so I'm going to organise my time in terms of this day I might focus on these tasks that I need to do. They might include things like create my mailing list message for my music that's out at the moment. Create a kind of, things that are like task based, you can tick them off easily. It could be like a point or a check mark on the to-do list, which allows you to tick it off, and then it's like in a task list, and you can work through a task list. You can put like a task list up, and then you can like have specific times to work on the tasks, and they're all like at a similar level of engagement and shallowness. And they might well actually all have quite tangible outcomes, whereas projects can be much more, I don't know how long this is going to take, I'm going to be writing my manuscript, I'm going to be making a film, I'm going to be mixing the song, I'm going to be doing songwriting, lyrics, I need to just go deep, turn the devices off. It's going to be like half a day where I have nothing else on, and this is time to immerse into that project. And there's not a particular outcome or timescale yet. Towards the end, that is a really nice arc where you actually can start to say, okay, well, there's this thing, like I'm going to finish this paragraph, or I'm going to mix that into my track, or I'm going to re-record that instrument. But usually at the start of projects, there needs to be a little bit more of a free flow time. Something I did recently was I made a list of all the things that I do and share, and then I tried to distinguish tasks that I could do right now to actually bring me some kind of direct result from those things, so whether it was income or growth. So they were things like follow up on emails to venues that I want to perform at. One of them was busk, literally, I've got a sum up machine that I bought in November or something, and I thought it was gonna do some Christmas songs and busk, and that I could have a little hat, and I could have my sum up machine with £2 on it, so people could give me money if they like my music. And I even bought a little voice amplifier, so my quiet little voice can be slightly louder in a busy place where there's lots of footfall. But I've had this aversion and block to doing it, this perfectionism, I'm not ready. I've been thinking a lot about how people offer things, and there's some people like me who get really preoccupied and perfectionistic about the packaging of it, and it's not ready because I need to make a website, or I need to do this massive thing that actually won't necessarily directly result in any good outcomes. And another example is I could, I've got this Ko-fi account, which is by someone called Ko-fi, coffee. I don't even know how you pronounce it, but I opened the account. I could post something on it to make it worthwhile that the people who already spend time on Ko-fi giving people money for doing what they do have something to actually look at, and might be tempted to, give me a few quid. But I have this block to doing that, because I'm I need a full campaign, I need a full kind of, 4 weeks worth of content to post and drip feed to them, and I don't want to have to think about that. It involves too much planning, and I think there's truth in that in a way, because it's okay, I do want to be careful, I want to have an idea, I want to have a strategy, I don't want to just be here's something and then I'm not going to do it again for months. So it's about maintenance, of course. There's another thing, offering coaching. I already do that, but like maybe rather than thinking like, oh, I need to do full repackage, rebrand, just to like maybe send an email on my mailing list to get those things out. On that note as well, there was a really nice bit of, I think it was on Rick Rubin's podcast, but I can't remember who he was speaking to, so I'm not gonna link it or quote it, but he was talking about, maybe it was with Stephen Pressfield, the War of Art resistance person. They're talking about, it was him, yeah. At what point do you schedule things and give yourself deadlines in terms of projects? And that's, for me, quite far into the process, usually when there's like, the thing is pretty much made, there's a clear idea, and then you can sort of start to give yourself like strict deadlines of like, okay, well, you know, by the end of this month this is going to be done, I'm going to do these things on this day, I'm going to edit this. And there's often some resistance, but then the thing kind of ends up just making itself. But hopefully this distinction between projects and tasks might help you with thinking about how to organise and schedule your workflow, so you're not like spending your project, like deep work, immersion, solo, studio, whatever collaboration flow time, you're not like ruining that with shallow tasks and emails, and you're also not only doing the kind of immersion, studio, flow, self, whatever regulation time without any engagement with what needs to be done to expose that, if you want to be exposed. And if you're watching this, I presume you kind of do, in a decent and holistic and integral, wonderful way. So more on that, I'll link some things below that have helped me around those kinds of ideas, stuff like Cal Newport, or quite like masculine ways of organising, time blocking, planning. So sprinkle in a bit of like intuitive sort of feminine embodiment sense of like, I don't want to do this today, I might have scheduled that, but whatever. And obviously fitting it around all your other life commitments and things. But I really enjoy guiding and helping with these processes of prioritising and hearing what you want and want to bring forth, and guiding you with how to actually do that in a way that's aligned and alive. So if that appeals, reach out. Au revoir.